You see, I mean, if I watch the television broadcasters, I would believe that everyone that comes is a vulnerable pregnant woman, who's come from horrible oppression. And I've no doubt there are some people who come who genuinely are getting away from very bad situations. But 85% of those that come are young men between the ages of 18 and 26, and the chances of them fully integrating, not just into our society, but into our value system in this country, that to begin with is difficult. And secondly, have a look at what's happened with those that came across the Mediterranean. Have a look at what's happened in Malmo. Have a look at what's happened in certain German cities, in certain French cities, and you realize this is an issue of national security. What is happening at the moment is the government effectively is paying for hotels all over the country to be filled up with those that come across the channel. And I even had an example last week of a hotel where one of the illegal migrants was removed because he was attempting to radicalize the others. This is very serious, and yet anyone that dares to say that is accused of prejudice. It's a very real issue, and I would remind your listeners of this one horrifying fact. Of the 8 men that committed those awful barbarities in Paris a few years ago, 5 of the 8 got into France by coming in boats across the Mediterranean. So we really do need, sounds good, I mean, just as last August when Boris Johnson said, those who come across the channel are illegal migrants, will be treated as such and returned to France. And just as it sounded good last October when Priti Patel told us that by spring the whole thing would have stopped. And here we have this response. We've got the Navy going to be involved and this clandestine boss. Look, the fact is, right now, as we speak, in the channel, we have a big British drone going up and down the channel. We have a British spotter plane going up and down the channel. We have border force vessels in the channel. We have the lifeboats from Dover and Dungeness in the channel. There is a massive operation going on every day. If you add the Royal Navy to it, all you'll do is make it a bigger taxi service unless you have the political will to change how we're doing this. No, I don't. I absolutely don't. I think Priti Patel herself may well have the will, but I don't think Boris Johnson and the cabinet are prepared to do what it takes and to face the criticism that they'll get. Look, when Tony Abbott was Prime Minister of Australia, or I'm talking about 10 years ago now, they faced a very similar problem. Boats coming from Indonesia. Larger distances, bigger boats, larger numbers of people, but the same principle, all right? In the end, what Abbott said was that nobody that enters Australia illegally by boat will ever be given refugee status. And if the British government said that, and if we return those that do continue to come illegally, the problem would stop.
We will make America great again.